As officers of the law, policemen must live above board. In character and in the discharge of their duties, the Kwara State Commissioner of Police, Paul Odama, has ordered the arrest of a drunk police officer in the command identified as Stephen Joanna in a viral video. The officer urinated and excreted in his uniform while being held by two of his colleagues. Reacting to the incident, the CP said the command is miffed over the matter, which is described as highly repulsive. Emeka, the recruitment process of these officers, and especially from the other rank, I've seen fine officers, refined officers in the senior cadre, people that they've gone to all international courses and everything, and reflecting in their behavior. But when it comes to other rank, especially these other rank guys, the process of recruiting them is a little bit, faulty.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that this fellow is an inspector. So he's not just another rank, he's a senior.
Maybe he rose.
Yes, he rose through the ranks, yes. But from the report, it appeared he had some medical issues. Maybe he's diabetic, because even the CP was saying that his condition appeared to be more medical than an issue of misconduct or indiscipline. But the person who actually recorded the video that's what I'm worried about. Somebody in such a situation is in a pathetic state. It might even be possible that he couldn't even help himself. Yes, yes, he's a police officer, no doubt about that. But there are times when, as human beings, we can be helpless, we can be in such a situation.
I thought they would have allowed it to degenerate to that level while still on uniform.
The man shouldn't even have been recorded, because such a person
What I'm saying is that, as the medical condition was deteriorating,
yes,
it's meant to have been maybe
should have been quickly, the man should have been
vacation, anything
he should have been quickly taken to the hospital. The police, they have clinics. You have been taken to the hospital. Then if you now have to investigate him for misconduct, maybe for drunkenness or things like that. But first of all, you have to stabilize his condition, because it could be someone addicted to drinking. That is indiscipline. Drinking on duty is bad enough. But that drinking had got him into a state web of inebriation that he just couldn't help himself. You can imagine passing physics on his body and all of that. I think he should have been helped to a medical facility. Then disciplinary measures should have been followed up. And I think also it points out one thing, that the police need to really do something about the psychological evaluation of not just those of the other ranks, even the officers. You see the conduct of some, policemen generally on the highway. You get to some checkpoints, you see policemen holding clubs, holding sticks, and you wonder, who are you going to hit? Are you going to break somebody's windscreen? And they actually do. In some cases, they break people's side mirrors, break people's windscreens and all that. And this is not the kind of, force. This is not the kind of police we want. We need a police, friendly enough, in such a way that can inspire confidence in the people. So we are no longer in the colonial era, where we knew that the colonialists, what they were interested in was to subdue the people and make dehumanize the people using instruments like the police. But now what we need is a police that is friendly with the citizens, that interacts with citizens, so that the people can, the people will be encouraged to work with the police, provide information, assist the police. But this kind of thing, psychological evaluation is very, very important.
Asuko, how did we get here? Because if you read about the Nigerian police, that book by M.D. Yusufu, you will understand the position of Nigerian police, in the 70s, 60s, and 80s. You understand you see how professional, and you understand the reason for the decadence over time. And at a point in time, policemen were preempting coup plotters. They had security reports about if a coup is about to happen, and they were so strong. And the way we had it during the time of Etemian, during the time of Camp Salem and everything. But this is not the kind of police we used to read about.
Well, I think we got here when junior officers are being, promoted well ahead of senior officers.
Yeah.
That is where the whole problem started. and then, when once that starts, corruption will start. People will start lobbying for them to be promoted. People will start lobbying for them to be moved from one particular, in quote, juicy states. You understand? Or your bits, So when that starts, that is how we get to this stage. Because people, I know some people used to tell me, some police officers will say, if you don't know one big Oga somewhere, you cannot be promoted. Or if you are not close to a particular, they have cliques, even in the police force. And I think with this new police service commission that they have, they're trying to see how, with Arasi, they're trying to see how they can stop that. So that if you merit for you to be promoted, you'll be promoted, And we need to get to that point whereby anybody can come out of school, either university, and says, I want to be a police officer. Because what we just feel police officers are they just stand and then block the road, and then that is the only thing they do. But they do more than that.
Of course.
Most people don't know that it is only the police that is saddled with the constitutional responsibility to keep the internal security of Nigeria. They think that anytime there's any problem, go and bring our army, soldiers, let them stay there. No, it is the police.
Job. It is decadence over time.
Yes, it is the police
deliberate.
Yes.
Deliberate.
So that is why sometimes I tend to have this negative feeling about the military having operations everywhere in the country. It is the police force that should be doing most of these operations and making sure that
when you have even uprising like Boko Haram, in those days it's going to be mobile police.
Yes,
units
of course, the unit that will go there.
That will go there.
Boko Haram,
banditry,
kidnapping, everything.
Zango, Kataf crisis.
Exactly. It is the police that should handle that. So when you now talk about a particular country trying to infiltrate into Nigeria, the soldiers can now go out there and then deal with it. But the local, anything that is internal, the police should be able to do that.
The police should be strong enough.
Strong enough, yes. And when we talk
to combat any insurrection within.
That is their work. So once it comes to professional conduct, we've seen fine officers in Lagos. We don't want to talk about the RRS. When we had the good boys being headed by RRS. When once you have issues
till now.
Third Mainland Bridge.
Professional, yes. And then they come and help you. They'll help you with your tires. If you are short of fuel, they give you fuel. They help you to the next.
We have to get to that point whereby we have confidence in the police force. Some people have confidence, but a lot of Nigerians still don't. I know that they are trying now. If you go on the social media, the police PPRO, every day they are trying to, once there's any issue, they get at them, they try to solve it. People will still abuse them, even when they are trying to solve the problem. But I know that with time, because they are engaging more, I can see that they are communicating more and engaging more with Nigerians.
The civil populace.
People will begin to have confidence in the Nigerian police force. But the major thing is for us to see how we can stamp out these corrupt practices from them, whereby where there is they shouldn't mount roadblocks, they shouldn't mount roadblocks. When we say go and investigate a matter, they should be able to investigate it properly. We'll get to that point.
Not asking complainants to bring money.
Money, exactly.
Those things they're not supposed to be.
When you get to the police station, they will tell you, for you to get a sheet of paper and biro, you have to pay just to write statements. Things like that should be a thing of the past.
And when you look at the way it is structured and in terms of funding, the federal government, despite the fact that, they said policing is in the exclusive legislative list, but when you want to look at, how they dole out fund, apart from salary and everything, you could see that directly or indirectly, you have the largest chunk of, maintenance and funding done by the state government.
It's the state governments and corporate bodies.
Because when you want to look at it, just imagine RRS in Lagos State now. They have a security trust fund in Lagos State. And the billions that they turn out every other. Okay, just imagine Lagos without RRS.
It will be.
The vehicles you see around in strategic places, Third Mainland Bridge and everything. Just imagine Lagos without these guys.
The thing is that I think we've got to the point where where we must really. The conversation about whether we need state police, it has to be. We have to really resolve that. State police, community policing, we must resolve it. We can't keep dancing around, do we try it? Oh, are governors responsible enough to be entrusted with the role of managing state police and all? We must get to the point where we either bite that bullet or we say, okay, let's reorganize the federal police and make the unfortunate thing for the police is that actually you've had different agencies taking their jobs. The military taking their jobs. You have EFCC, you have ICPC.
Exactly.
Duplication. You have duplication. You
Exactly.
Because within the police, you have special fraud units, SFU,
Yes.
Which is
they're
the
meant to be doing the work of
EFCC.
EFCC.
So the police should be strengthened. Police officers, even the other ranks, you hear a lot of terrible stories among them. Even their welfare, the way they are treated, their promotion, they are not giving promotion on time. They even buy their kits. They contribute money to fuel their patrol vans. They contribute money to power police stations and all of these things. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. I think Nigeria, we should be ashamed of certain things being said about our country. It's not right. It's not proper.
I think the incoming administration setting the kind of agenda, I think the administration of Bola Tinubu can just do it right and maybe send in like an executive bill to the National Assembly and they can decide to
It's not the thing is, it's not even just about pumping money there, but if also monitoring how this money is being used.
Yes, as in to just even decentralize the structure first.
Yeah, of course,
that don't man
state police fine. State police here, people have been saying that governors would misuse it and all that, but I think we need it. At least community policing is vital, very, very vital. But once it comes to this police force, if we are going to say, okay, let's maintain this police force, we want to pump money into, we have to monitor how this money is being used. Have you gone to the police barracks before? If you go to the police barracks, you just shake your head. You just notice that
they don't deserve to live in such
environments. If you go to a police barracks and you go to maybe a naval barracks or maybe the Air Force base, you'll be shocked. It's like night and day, So we have to start from there. The psyche of every police officer, including their family members, have to change. And the only way they can do that is by making sure that even where they are staying is even habitable first.
Yes.
Because it's like they are using the same anger, on Nigeria. What is from their house, they take it outside. If their house is dirty, their environment is dirty, they just feel that everybody is dirty.
That everybody hates them.
Exactly.
That the society.
So we have to start from home first.
Bounce back.
They say charity begins at home, whether we like it or not.
It's true.
We start from there, make sure that where they are staying is habitable, they are going out to work and make sure that we stay safe. They are going home to a very sane environment. And then you see how they will even treat us as human beings.
I even feel that this idea of parking policemen in pickup vans, I think that thing something should be done about it. I don't really feel comfortable. You see policemen sitting in the back of pickup
open
vans.
Pickup vans.
No. Their colleagues in other countries don't have two heads. We may not give them Ferraris like in some countries like the United Arab Emirates, but let's get them decent patrol vehicles.
There was a time in Akwa Ibom that during Akpabio's time, police officers used to drive Prado jeeps as patrol vans.
But that was what Obasanjo started with now.
Prado jeeps.
The 1,000 Prado jeeps, yes.
There's nothing bad in it if we give them good cars.
Give
them a sense of belonging. Let's even start somewhere.
And then people, the VIPs should also stop using them. As errand boys and all of that.
That one cannot stop.
No, but that was why. So that was why people were talking about creating a separate force that VIPs could hire people for some of these
like domestic.
Yes, carrying bags and all of those things.
I think that is where I don't agree, because security officers should not be domestic staff.
But you saw one politician who molested a female police agent.
Yes, I know, but the thing is wrong.
Why?
And that is why the thing is we just have to make sure that those who are for security, or if they are security officers, treat them as security officers. If you want houseboy or house girl or somebody that will carry an umbrella for you or bag, go and look for another person to do that. Not a police officer or even a civil defense.
No, not at all. That's wrong.
All right.